Welcome to Chasing Curiosity TV. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. Tonight the skies over the Philippines thunder, not with rain but with the arrival of American F-35 Lightning II jets. These advanced fighters, landing at Clark Air Base, mark a dramatic return of U.S. military power to Philippine soil. Alongside them, massive cargo planes deliver the Typhoon missile system, capable of striking targets hundreds of miles away. For the first time in decades, such potent American weapons are stationed here, not for a fleeting exercise, but as a strategic deployment. The message is unmistakable: the U.S. is back, and the balance of power in Southeast Asia is shifting. Local residents watch with a mix of awe and anxiety, knowing their island is now a focal point in a global contest. Years of shifting alliances and rising tensions have led to this moment. The Philippines, once drifting toward China, has swung back to its oldest ally. Growing Chinese assertiveness in the South China Sea has pushed Manila to seek stronger U.S. security guarantees. The U.S., eager to counter China's influence, is reinforcing its Indo-Pacific alliances. This deployment is more than military posturing. It's a political statement, a turning point in Asia's story of power and influence. The world is watching, calculating what this means for peace, stability, and the risk of escalation. The consequences of this move will shape the region for years to come. Clark Air Base is more than a military outpost. It's a symbol of America's Pacific legacy. Once a hub in World War II and the Vietnam War, it was abandoned in 1991. Now it's back in the headlines. Why now? Just west of here, China has built and militarized artificial islands, projecting power and intimidating neighbors. Chinese vessels have harassed Filipino fishermen and outposts, raising alarm in Manila. The U.S. response deploy F-35s and Typhoon missiles to Clark, fundamentally altering the region's military balance. China's bases in the Spratlys are now within easy reach of American firepower. F-35s patrol the skies with stealth, gathering intelligence and holding targets at risk. Typhoon missiles threaten Chinese ships and land facilities, creating a credible deterrent. This is integrated deterrence, combining military, diplomatic, and economic power with allies to prevent conflict. The deployment is a clear message. China's actions have consequences, and the U.S. is committed to a free and open Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines, it's reassurance. For China, a warning. America's return to Clark signals a new era of engagement in the world's strategic center of gravity. The stakes are higher, the risks greater, and the message unmistakable. This is not just history repeating, it's history accelerating. The U.S. is back, and the region will never be the same. The world is watching. For years, China has pushed boundaries in the South China Sea, using gray zone tactics, aggressive, but just short of war. Swarms of militia boats, water cannons, and sweeping territorial claims have changed the facts on the water. The U.S. deployment of F-35s and Typhoon missiles is a direct challenge to this strategy. The message to Beijing: America's commitment to the Philippines is now backed by real firepower. Any aggression risks drawing the U.S. into direct conflict. Ambiguity is gone, replaced by certainty. The U.S. is shifting from defense to credible offense, with persistent, hard-to-counter assets on China's doorstep. This creates a new area denial bubble, countering China's own anti-access strategy. The deployment also undermines China's narrative that the U.S. is an unwanted outsider. The Philippines requested this partnership, showing regional countries are seeking American help to balance Chinese pressure. Now China must decide, escalate, or adapt to a new reality. The stakes are high, and the next move is Beijing's. The region holds its breath, waiting to see if China will double down or seek stability. The U.S. presence forces a recalculation in Beijing's strategy. The balance of power has shifted, and the world is watching for China's response. The game has changed. The U.S.-Philippine alliance is reborn, stronger than it's been in years. After a brief flirtation with Beijing, Manila has returned to Washington, driven by shared concerns over Chinese encroachment. The Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement now gives U.S. forces access to more bases, including those facing the South China Sea and Taiwan. The symbolism of American forces at Clark Air Base is powerful, a full-circle moment for both nations. For the U.S., the Philippines is a strategic gateway. For Manila, American partnership is essential for sovereignty and security. This revitalized alliance goes beyond hardware joint training. Intelligence sharing and military modernization are deepening ties. The goal is a partnership of equals, building resilience and capability. The F-35s and Typhoon missiles are the most visible sign, but daily cooperation is the alliance's real strength. The message to the region: the U.S.-Philippine alliance is back, and it's a pillar of Asian stability. Together, they stand ready for whatever comes next. Why is this deployment such a game changer? It's all about the technology. The F-35 Lightning II isn't just a fighter jet, it's a stealthy flying computer, gathering and sharing battlefield data in real time. Its stealth makes it nearly invisible to enemy radar, allowing it to see and strike before being detected. The F-35 acts as a quarterback, making every US and Philippine asset smarter and more lethal. On the ground, the Typhoon missile system brings new power. It can launch Tomahawk cruise missiles, long-range, precise, and hard to stop. It also fires SM-6 missiles, able to shoot down aircraft, intercept missiles, or strike ships at sea. From northern Luzon, Typhoon can threaten Chinese ships and even reach the mainland coast. This creates a layered defense, forcing China's navy to operate with caution. Together, F-35S and Typhoon missiles send a clear message. Any conflict here would be costly. The balance of power has shifted, and deterrence is now backed by cutting-edge technology. The US and Philippines have never been more capable or more connected. The stakes for any aggressor have never been higher. The region's response to the US deployment is mixed and telling. In Beijing, condemnation is swift, accusations of a Cold War mentality, and warnings that the Philippines is playing with fire. China's military is already planning countermoves, raising the risk of a regional arms race. America's allies like Japan and Australia quietly welcome the move. For Japan, it secures vital sea lanes and strengthens the defensive line from north to south. Australia sees it as a step toward balance and deterrence. Southeast Asian nations are more cautious. Vietnam and others with disputes against China are privately pleased, but most ASEAN countries walk a tightrope. They want US security but fear being caught between superpowers. Many worry the rivalry could turn their region into a battleground. Some see the deployment as necessary, others fear it will only raise tensions. Diplomacy and law are preferred, but military realities can't be ignored. The region is on edge, balancing hope for stability with fear of escalation. The stakes for Southeast Asia have never been higher. With powerful militaries in close quarters, the risk of miscalculation skyrockets. The South China Sea is crowded. Naval ships and aircraft from multiple nations operate side by side. Stealth fighters and long-range missiles add new layers of complexity and danger. A single mistake, a misread radar, a wrong maneuver, could trigger a crisis or even war. The Typhoon system's presence creates a use-it-or-lose-it dilemma, tempting preemptive action in a crisis. China will likely accelerate its own military buildup, fueling an arms race. Deterrence is meant to prevent conflict, but it relies on clear communication and rational decisions. In a tense standoff, misunderstandings can spiral out of control. The path to peace is narrow, and the risks are real. The South China Sea is the world's commercial lifeline. 1/3 of global shipping passes through these waters. Any conflict here would disrupt trade, trigger economic crisis, and be felt worldwide. The sea is rich in oil, gas, and fish, resources that fuel disputes and national pride. China's sweeping claims clash with those of the Philippines, Vietnam, and others, creating a web of tension. Freedom of navigation is the principle at stake. The US and allies conduct patrols to assert international rights and prevent any one nation from controlling this vital waterway. The deployment of F-35S and Typhoon missiles backs up this principle with real power. The world cannot afford for this waterway to be closed or controlled. Peace here is a global necessity. Asia stands at a crossroads, with decisions today shaping generations to come. The arrival of F-35S and Typhoon missiles in the Philippines marks the start of a new, uncertain chapter. The Philippines is now at the center of great power competition. Its choices will echo far beyond its shores. For Manila, the challenge is to defend sovereignty without being drawn into unwanted conflict. For the US, it's about deterring aggression without provoking war. Two futures are possible, one of arms races and flashpoints, the other of stable deterrence and diplomacy. The hope is for peace, but the risk of conflict is real. The thunder over Manila is both a warning and a promise. Wise leadership and clear communication are needed to avoid catastrophe. The world is watching. This is the moment that will define the century.